Oh yeah, baby. Let's do this. Yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for tuning into Severo Music Studios, the Off Key podcast. I'm your man here with Severo Music Studio. Like I said, this is episode 2, and today I have another guest, which I'm honored to have here with me. He is a singer, songwriter, all-out performer, all-rounder, I'm telling you, and this is Mr. B. Charles. Thanks for being here, man.
Hey, Severo, thank you for having me once again, man. It's always a pleasure and always an honor to come out to you and just spread the love of music, man. That's what we do.
Yeah.
One rhythm, one life, man.
Oh my word.
This is what we do. It's what we do.
Everyone, people say my catchphrase, I just lose it, man.
I love it.
So, like we said, this man is a singer, songwriter, all-out performer. His vocals are amazing. You would not actually believe it. And he's also a family man. He's also a trained fighter, boxer specifically. And also he's a daddy, but now with not just one, but now another one on the way.
Yes.
How's that going with the corona baby?
Yeah, we're extremely excited. Obviously, we got the pigeon paid, done and dusted now.
Yeah.
All right, so we're getting a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting a boy.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, we're very much excited, man. We're very much excited. What a blessing. You know, in a weird time that we're all living in, you know, we can't forget the pandemic and stuff. And although there's some lighter restrictions on us right now,
Right.
you know, we never take it too lightly either. You know, we stay more than anything, just staying more vigilant out in the world where we are right now. So yeah, we're very excited with the baby. It's coming on the 15th of March.
15th of March.
Yeah, and my birthday is the 12th of March. So
Oh man, gonna have to share the spotlight.
yeah, man, sleepless nights await us. Let's do this.
Yeah, how you think you're gonna handle that again? You know, going back to that now again.
Look, to tell you the truth, it will be my first experience doing this because I was in Europe when Jesse was born.
Okay.
When Jesse was born, I was in Europe. I was doing music out in Europe for 6 years.
We'll touch on that in a second.
Yeah. So I left for 9 months that year. Came back. Jesse was about 2-3 months, and I left again.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I didn't have this whole experience, you know, in terms of the hospitals and having to see my wife, you know, with a big tummy and,
My
you know.
voete, my rug.
Yeah, it is voete, it is, oh, baby, am I getting fat now or whatever, you know. So it's all those type of things, and my feet and my nose and my hands and yeah, it's all surreal to me, man. And I'm enjoying every process of this whole experience. I'm enjoying it. Like I don't see how men cannot enjoy this process. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, the hard work lies ahead. Don't let us not fool ourselves. You know, the nappies and gechanger and alles. But
and you know, sometimes not always the easiest person to get along with. Your lady transforms during that time. Yeah.
you know, so but luckily I'm very patient. You know, I keep quiet. I just listen and I do what I must do. You know, and I understand. I never back chat. I never speak back. I understand in which state they are right now. You know, and that is something that I learned as well. You know, like I say, I never experienced any of this. So yeah, man, it's all so surreal for me, and I'm just excited, man. I'm gonna have a baby boy. He's gonna throw his hands like his dad, you know.
Are you gonna?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
you're gonna.
Devs, 1 year old. That boy is hitting pads with me. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, all right. Have you all got a thing about a name yet?
Yeah, we have Cruz. We have Cruz Bailey Boyson. That's what we
Very,
have.
very Hollywood. I
Yeah,
love
hey
it.
man, hey. But born and bred Cape Townian, man. That's what we do. We have to send love to the CPT, man.
Absolutely. Now, I wanted to actually touch on this subject of you actually going to Europe,
Yeah.
and to actually shed some light on the people, our local artists who have heard of people like our local people going overseas to do it,
Yeah.
and what the life is actually like. When I first interviewed you with J Man, shout out my video,
Jay, man.
uh, that you actually went over there for 6 years. I said you were there for a while. You like a while, 6 years.
Yeah.
And you were doing what if I ever had a dream of doing. It's like something we share a common passion for Michael Jackson tribute show.
Yes, yes,
Right?
yes.
So, so tell us, what was that like? First of all, take us through the phases. How did you get into? How did you get like the call for that? How did
So
you
this-
get?
so look,
And okay, go ahead.
This is how it happened. For my friends, well, three of my friends, I can mention their names because they're very dear to my heart.
Yeah.
Alfredo, Ashwin, and Navron. All right. Ashwin calls me up and say, "Hey, we're going for an audition today." I'm like, "God, I didn't even brush my teeth, no wash. What you talking about?" He said, "Just be ready." I put the phone off. Ding, Ashwin is in front of my house. And I'm like, "Yo, God, I didn't wash my. I just brushed my teeth. I didn't wash nothing." Went
Whoa.
for the audition. We killed the audition. As a group, we killed it. We killed the callbacks as well in the dancing rehearsals. But they weren't taking groups per se as a whole. They were looking for individuals to fit in different tribute shows. And then that year, one of our friends, Alfredo, left. He went, and then the three of us stayed back home in Cape Town because obviously we wanted to go as a group.
Right.
But we also understood that there's an opportunity for one or two of us to go. I would never hold it against you if you needed to do something like that. So we understood that, And I think that was the greatest decision that we all made as a group that day on the audition day. And Alfredo left the following year. Then I got the call. Hey, we saw you audition last year. We'd like to offer you a position in the company. I was like, oh, okay, what do you need? He said, come in for the audition. Just sing again. Just refresh our memory again slightly. And then
Right.
we have an idea of what we want to do. But there is 8 guys also standing in line for the same position, so you need to outwork them or show that you are more dedicated. And knowing me with music and singing and dancing, it's like one. So I worked through, then I got to be in a group with my friend Alfredo again, and then I've met Charlton, and then we've been in Europe for 6 years. 6 years doing a tribute show that was probably one of the most sold out shows out of the word I want to use to describe our experience is crazy, because we went from the underdogs to being the top show. You know what I mean? And
now you can never go wrong with some Michael Jackson. He transcends to all nations. But now, okay, maybe it's a bit of a stigma. But I mean, you were in Europe specifically.
Spain.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, that is not a predominantly English-speaking nation. So how did that, what is that experience like?
We work more on the Balearic Islands. So on the Balearic Islands is more tourist driven. So now you have more English living on the Balearic Islands, Mallorca, Menorca, Lanzarote, Tenerife, Gran Canaria. Those are the islands. They are, a majority is just English based. You get your German, your Slovakian, the Russian, all type of nationalities there. Don't get me wrong, but it's more English driven. That's what I feel. The locals, on the other hand, in the countries, I always feel that they can't necessarily do this type of tribute show, so they need to kind of accommodate everybody coming. And where it's more English driven, they want to listen to something that is more English. You know what I mean? In that terms of tribute show, and it's all the golden oldies. Something that they're familiar with, like you say. And I think that's the only thing. Spain and these countries like Greece, it's all opening up for artists from South Africa to go abroad. It's an amazing stepping stone. People can create amazing careers out of it. They can create an amazing lifestyle from it. I know friends that has gone over for years, saved up money and bought them a house. It's a great stepping stone for anybody. I would recommend you find your feet as an artist. For you to sing 9 months every single night of your life, this is a test.
Right.
So that is where you test yourself. That's where you grow.
Now, speaking of lifestyle, what was lifestyle there? Did you live with the crew that you were with all the time?
Yes.
What was the accommodation and lifestyle like?
Look,
Because you said it was what, 9 months at a time.
9 months at a time, 6 to 9 months at a time per
So,
year.
where were you guys situated? How was living like? Because now you actually had to acclimate yourself there. You actually
Yeah.
had to establish yourself there. So
Look, so what we did is we got a sound technician that would pick us up in front of our house, in front of our apartment every night and take us to our venue. And we were sold out every single night. We had a show. There wasn't one off night for us. It didn't exist. Being off didn't. You had the flu, you had the cold. Anyways, you need to go on stage.
Right.
It's showbiz. The show must go on.
Yep,
That's where
yep.
we learned the hard way, you know. And but what an experience that was, because that is where you grow. So our sound technician would pick us up in the evenings and then drop us after the show. We would go from one venue to the other venue, then he drops us back home. So, and obviously you get customized to everything around you. Like you meet the locals. The locals are the most loveliest people you could ever meet, because they're interested. Hey, you come from South Africa, Cape Town. Hey, tell us about it. They want to know so
Yeah.
much. They want to visit. And I think for us going over as a group, the three of us, for so long, we've literally grew on people. We grew in people's hearts. So when they see us, they know, hey, we're coming over in 3 weeks' time to see you boys. And it's people from all over the world that came to watch our show 3 to 4 times a season.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is also how we grew with relationships with people. And I think that's just amazing, because we connected so many countries together, and it was cool. It was
okay.
it's an amazing
No,
journey.
that's a great experience. Now let's
Yeah.
quickly talk. Actually, before we get there, so we have about 4 or 5 people viewing at the moment. That will soon grow, I'm sure. But we have what charm. How do you say this name right here?
Shamian.
You know that person?
Yeah.
Jojo. Okay, so I think this person's tagging Mika Alexander and Alfredo and Barn September to watch in.
Yeah.
Everyone who's watching, thank you very much for coming and to viewing from wherever you are. Savira from Savira Music Studios, Mr. B. Charles. Thank you also to John from Chapter 1 Radio to also providing the platform where you can actually review this audio again.
Cool.
Now, also I want to tell everyone, if you have any questions at all, I'm right here on the laptop monitoring everything. So if you have any questions about for Mr. B. Charles or myself about the industry,
Bring it
or
on, bring it on, bring it on,
we
bring
are
it
very
on.
open for it. So getting on, so that was the experience, but now the influence, Mr. Michael Jackson. Let's just touch on that. There's a couple of people that I want to touch that topic on with, but you know, this is a good place to start, because I mean you built so much of what you are on doing this tribute act. Man, so let's just talk about Michael. What is Michael to you? How did you get it? Were you a fan from little, just like the rest of us? Was he like a superhero?
I'm gonna lie if I say I was. And I'm not joking when I tell you
Really?
this. No. As the generation grew on, like I always say it like this. Michael Jackson, Usher, like say Michael Jackson was Usher's greatest.
Mm-hmm.
It was his greatest role model when it comes to music.
Right.
In return, Usher was my role model in music, because of the times we grew in.
Yes.
You know, I grew up listening to Usher, Cisco, I'm taking you back, Drew Hill, listening to Joe, listening to Boyz II Men. So I grew up listening to a slightly a bit more soulful take on R&B, and obviously Michael was something that I needed to go back and do homework on, because I would moonwalk, but I would moonwalk like Usher because I had his style.
Right.
I wanted to be like Usher.
And I can relate.
You know, but where did Usher get that influence from? Obviously Michael Jackson. So it's a pass down, but I needed to literally dig deep and become something that I didn't know I could.
Right.
It took me 2 to 3 full seasons to say, I got it. And guess what? You can still fall at the very end.
Right.
You can still fall, and even as you go along, because this is something that I realized that with doing a tribute show of such a high caliber, in terms of this expectancy, like, hey, if you don't knock these moves off and sing accordingly, you know, you'll automatically get judged. But
Yep.
yeah, if you don't also go back and sit with your music again, after a while you just go into almost like into, what's this word I'm trying to use? You just go into a mode where it's like,
Just a vicious loop.
Yeah,
Just,
and
a
you don't even
repeat.
realize, hey, you're making so many mistakes because you're
Uh-huh.
just so like in this mode that you just keep going.
Yeah.
Almost like pilot mode. You just like the
Autopilot, yeah.
autopilot. You go
Yeah.
into autopilot and you automatically think you're doing the right thing. Little did you know, hey, go back to the drawing board, boy. Go
Right.
look. And I think a show like that keeps you on your toes, regardless of anything. And that is one of the greatest things I've learned, man. I didn't know autopilot existed up until you sing and you realize, Brendan, Jay sung af.
Yeah.
And but it's chill because for you to sing every single night, it's
Yes.
it's it's no joke, you know.
Yeah.
So automatically you would go into that. But like I say, Michael Jackson, uh, man, I had to dig deep my first season, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to dig deep, and it wasn't easy because there was a certain way he did things. It was a certain cue. He had a different take on stuff, the way he moved, the way he looked,
Yeah.
everything. So I needed to adapt that because obviously
Absolutely.
they can see, oh, this guy can sing, he's trying his best, but I needed more.
Right.
The whole group, we needed more. We needed that extra oomph.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
I mean, it's such a cliche. It's something that you see everywhere nowadays. Whatever talent show you go to, there's always a Michael Jackson act.
Yeah.
Ain't there? Some of it is just gets very old.
Yeah,
Some
but
of it, some of it is amazing.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
some of the people can do nice impressions by voice.
Yeah, but
So,
then they
yeah,
don't
some-
have the dancing aspect to
yeah,
it. Yeah,
but some people have like the dancing, but not the singing because they
Yeah.
only you know.
so it was
each their
hard. It
own.
was hard because the pressure was real fast. You know, we needed to, and the year we went was, I think, the year before that he just passed away. So it was big. It was big.
Right.
They were expecting Michael Jackson tribute shows all around the world, and it took off. It took off. So that was a great stepping stone for us in our careers, man.
Could you imagine? Because I mean, in the 80s, Michael Jackson was doing like world tours for almost 2 or 3 years straight. For like over a year straight, almost 2 years, touring every.
Guy,
could you imagine?
Guy, I'm telling you, like it's crazy, man. It's crazy, but it's real. It's something that can be done. You know, it's something
He
that
had to
can
be
be done.
superhuman. I mean, I can understand how he suffered from so many things because I mean, he was just drilled this way
No,
since.
he was a. I use it in sports all the time. When I always make this comparison to some of my boys that I train, I say, we train hard, so we fight easy. So Michael Jackson would rehearse his ass
Yep,
off.
yep.
He would rehearse. When little did you know, he's just in the kitchen and he's doing his thing. He's always practicing.
Yeah.
He's always making sure that he's running over his lines.
Quincy would say he's the most diligent guy in studio. He said, you know, the stuff that you see on stage when he does
Yeah.
at the end of every phase, he's like he does it pretty much in studio.
Yeah,
he's
because-
like, yeah,
but he's in the studio working. He don't just get on stage and be like, okay, I got this. I've done it a million times.
exactly. No, there's a big difference between just singing a song and performing a song.
There
You
we
need
go.
to make people believe it. You know what I
There we
mean?
go.
Yeah, and also he had this reputation. He is Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that
People
work
are
ethic, man.
expecting
Yeah, they're expecting like
ponies, you know, unicorns. They
look, he had that work ethic, and I think that is what we needed to learn the most. You know, we constantly needed to go back to the drawing board and work on things. And man, you can. That's just what it is, and that is what I say. It's such a great stepping stone because for you to perform every night also keeps you on your toes because you can't mess up. There's a big audience watching you.
right.
You understand? So it's a constant. Hey, you can't slack today, boy. You can't slack today. You need to take it up. You need to take it up a notch. You know, and yeah, that's
But
what.
could you imagine how he felt because, you know, some of us felt for him because pretty much he couldn't switch it off.
Man, it's
Told him he was diligent for so long, perfectionist to his own craft so long, so committed to it that he pretty much couldn't switch off. How do you think you get to that stage? I always,
and
but
it's
but
hard,
before
but
that,
it's his life.
yeah,
That's
before
all,
that,
that's all he knows. It's his life.
I mean, it's great in one sense, but and on the other
Man.
sense on the other hand, it's so to the extreme that on the other side is pretty sad.
Yeah.
He was very alone.
I always say this. Would you? Are you? You know, it's like you have that one T-shirt in your cupboard that you only want to wear when you go out.
Right.
How many times do we go out? Yeah, but we save that T-shirt just for that special occasion. Or you know what I mean? We grew up like that. Hey, don't make my sneakers dirty because I'm going out with these sneakers.
Okay, yeah, that's
We
a
don't
better
realize
reference.
that when we look again, 2 years has passed and you haven't worn that sneakers. Why did you buy the sneakers for you to wear or to stay in your cupboard?
Uh-huh. Mm. Absolutely.
You know, and
I get your point. Yeah.
it's like that. It's hard. He lived his life. He didn't just buy the clothes and left it in the cupboard. He wore it because, hey, I'm Michael Jackson and I need to do this regardless. He just kept doing his thing. So it is his life, man. It's his life. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we sit back and we ask, yeah, is it all these things worth it at the end of the day? Because little did we know that he might have been suffering from depression. He might have. We don't know this. It's all we see is this amazing guy on stage doing his thing. He's polished. He's proper. He's prim.
True.
And we don't know that.
Exactly. It's only what like the media portrayed is what we kind of saw or whatever. When it came to his, I mean, we're all probably guilty of it. Everyone watching that when we like saw Michael Jackson appear, he was like Zorro. You know, he would appear, everyone's excited, then he's gone like a phantom. You know, that when he's performing in that, we all want to see. But when he want to make his genuine speeches, we're like, okay, yeah, we get it. Just dance. Just sing.
Guy, don't worry. You inspired us already. Just dance. Do your thing. And it's like that, man. That's the power. Yeah, that's the power his music had. You know what I mean? And yeah, there'll never be another Michael Jackson, man. And it's just what it is.
I just always wondered what it was like, because you know we all know Elvis as well, and how people just went mad for his presence and everything. And I'm sure you've watched, like, obviously you studied Michael, right?
Yeah.
You watch his tours, particularly when it came to like the 90s, right, where he just stood still for when he appeared for like 3 minutes. They would lose their. I have to be okay.
Don't use that word. Okay. Cut. Beep.
They would lose their wigs. For 3 minutes straight.
Yeah.
And all it took for him was to turn his head for them to lose their wigs. Even harder. I'm like, how do you get to that kind of point? How do you become so global? One individual, you know, being that influential. Yeah, it's just beyond our understanding.
It's beyond our understanding.
We all feel like, I mean, when we step out of a Michael Jackson show, or when we're
doing the moves.
Exactly, it's like watching a kung fu movie, you know.
Yeah, we are.
When we saw Rocky, you know, I know how to do it now. We're that inspired, you know.
Look, because growing up, they were like our heroes. You know what I mean? Like that's the truth. Like in the karate movie, when the karate movie is done,
we're kicking everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, me and my brother would be like, hey, you can't catch me, man. Like we would literally go at each other. You know what I mean? Like, but that is just. As times change, I think, it's we don't have all the answers to those type of things, but it's crazy. It's true, but yeah.
Okay, now that we spoke about that, I'm glad we got at least a bit of that off our chest, because I mean, I've been meaning to speak about, you know, Michael for a while with you and what your views is and whatever experiences. Let's just talk also just briefly on the experiences you and J-Man had over here in Severo Music Studios. Let's just talk a little about that. I was very honored to have you guys first when you brought out the single She Gonna Love Me.
Yes.
I mean, which is still so close with me.
Yeah.
But that wasn't recorded yet. That was a personal project of you guys that really transcended. But I was extremely honored when Hold On came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just like to tell, ladies and gentlemen, like what you guys were wanting to do and how that little project came about.
Yeah. Okay, so let us just go back. So how we met Severo.
I should have actually started with that as well.
We need to go back there. So what we did was, I was singing in a competition. Severo was singing in a competition. But it looked like Severo was taking over like the whole show because he had his laptop, his cameras out. So I thought, this is the guy, you know, he's the guy.
I had my sax, I had a guitar, I had a keyboard.
He had everything, keyboard, laptop is out, cameras is out. And I'm thinking to myself, hey, this is the guy that's probably recording us and this is the guy, you know, so I'm nervous as well. And Severo comes over to me, he's like, hey guy, can I get you a drink? And I'm like, what? And we started talking. We hit it off. I had tea. I think you had a beer or something.
I had a Hunter's, yeah.
Yeah. I had tea because I'm thinking, hey, I need to save my vocals.
I wasn't singing too much, so I'm alright.
So that's how we met. And then one day, he told me, look at you, if ever you want to do any projects, you know, hit me up. And then one Sunday, we were still busy recording on She Gonna Love Me. And then I called him up and I said, hey, brah, come through, I'll pick you up. Then we go to town. We just shoot a couple of scenes in town. It's the final bit of scenes. And then he's like, yeah, let's do this. And then ever since then we clicked, and we've been buddies ever since, and we've been working on music, and he's been asking me my opinion. And we've been here in these studios, Severo Music Studios. We've been here doing some of our projects, and we also so grateful to you guys for opening your doors. You know what I mean? Studio time is not cheap. It's not cheap. You know what I mean? And you avail yourself so easily to us all the time. We just want to say thank you. You know, and it means a lot.
Don't make me cry on live.
As you know, struggling artists in this day, trying to put out great projects, trying to put out great content, you know, and it's hard because a lot of guys don't have the capital behind them, you know, to invest into their brands, you know. But that's another topic on another time. But you know what I mean, like we grateful to you, and if a lot of people, I know you're so great and helpful. You would help any person literally like, hey, do you want to record your songs? Hey, I got a studio. That is you. It's always been you. You've never spoken to us about money ever. We tell you, hey, how much you want the session? And you're like, nah, it's cool. And we more like, but like, tell us what you want. Then we would literally force you to take our money.
Yeah, like we didn't end. But I mean, I just wanted to hear what was going to come of it. I was just more looking forward to actually being any sort of kind of footnote that I was involved with something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
and then obviously we clicked, and then Hold On happened. So how Hold On happened was J-Man had on Facebook, and someone replied to something that he mentioned, right? And then he felt so bad, and he apologized to what he said, you know. And at the time, it's the whole the gender-based violence thing.
Enough is enough, yeah.
Yeah, and it was hitting our country actually very hard, because our women were, sorry for this word, they were gutful. They were like, nah, bro, this must stop now.
I don't even want to get onto this subject.
And then me and J-Man, we did a fashion show, and then he said, Brandon, I've been working on this track. I've been feeling bad. I've been writing some stuff, you know, about this whole gender-based violence thing. We're going to studio tomorrow. We're going to Severo tomorrow. But our whole song shifted, because the song we were supposed to do, we didn't do.
Yeah, exactly. You were due to write a pop song.
Yeah, we were due to write a pop song. And then J-Man says, look at you, I'm going to sleep over by you tonight. We're going to sit and write for the night. And throughout the night, we are writing, and I'm thinking of a hook, and I'm thinking of hooks, and I'm writing, I'm rewriting. J-Man is busy with his verse. We're playing the track over and over and over. And we said, look, I need to get some shut-eye so I can rest my vocals, and that's number one.
Yeah.
Because we just did a show that night, and we stayed up all night. The Sunday we recorded the song. We had the filming up and everything. We put the visual pictures that we had to the track and stuff. And great project, man. A great project, you know.
Just 1 second, Chuck here. So thank you again for tuning in, man. Always great to see you supporting Moby.
Yo! What up?
Who doesn't know her, right?
Yeah. What up?
If any of y'all have any questions, fire away. Anyway, yeah, just to also just give you a quick insight, ladies and gentlemen, that if you just go onto the B. Charles Experience, any of his pages, and you find the song Hold On, just take a moment to actually mellow in what is actually written there. I was so impressed by everything. By first of all the hook, you know, the chorus, the verses, just the whole feel of it, the vibe. And just try and put in your mind, everyone, that this was pretty much written and put together in about roughly 2 days.
Yeah.
That's it. They were here. We went live also just briefly for that day. They were here. Still writing. Like, wait, let's do this.
Showbiz, baby.
They don't.
Showbiz.
They never practice like, let's do this so I can do it quiet. Like, no, let's just record this.
Let's just record it and just run off emotionally, you know.
Yeah.
And when everybody asked
J-Man's here, guys.
and when everyone asked, hold on, you know, hold on, why, hold on, and like, because we're holding on for a better future.
Yeah.
There must be a better answer than what we have right now. Let's hold on, and you know, the better days are yet to come. So let's hold on, let's have faith, you know, and keep it strong, and let us move forward. And that got to a lot of people, because when people saw the video, they were like, what the hell? But do we speak about our music industry? Do we say, why don't they accept great music like this? Why don't they? I don't do the the why. No, I keep going. I
There's
keep
a
going.
lot of politics
Yeah,
that we could get into,
but I
but I
never
mean,
touch on it. I just keep
yeah.
doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's creating music.
Yeah.
You know, and trying to get my message out or my story out. You know.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters to me. I don't worry about the politics. I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
People cry wolf. Oh no, they're not playing more original music. Okay.
Yeah, are
Con-
you gonna stay in that
uh,
state now, or are you gonna keep moving?
keep
You know?
moving. You
Yeah.
keep writing. You know what I mean?
And hold on.
That one track will come and it will blow people so much away that next thing you know, you're the greatest star of all time. Then you go back and you reshuffle all the music that they did not take note of.
Yes.
You know, that is what you do.
That's what always happens
Yeah,
though.
because a lot of people's like, Brandon, do you have more music? Why we just
You
Love High
guys
on the
have
radio?
no idea how much music
And then they're
is
like,
actually in
oh my
archives
God,
for
we
these
go on
people.
Spotify and we actually see your other music.
Yep.
But be patient.
Yeah.
Be patient and keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you're supposed to be writing music and producing music, keep doing that. Keep doing. Don't cry wolf after 4 or 5 years, 6 years, or even 10 years. Keep doing it. That one track will come. And
I
when it
love it.
comes, you'll be surprised.
I also just love that you guys, if I could almost compare it to a group, I know it's gonna be maybe a little high sprung. You're gonna be like, what? But I'm talking like Black Eyed Peas, right?
Yeah, we
That
love the Black Eyed Peas.
They have like their real meaningful songs,
Yeah.
but they also just have their like a feel good songs. Now, one song that's also very close to me that you guys recorded here, Love High.
Love I. Yeah.
Oh man, that was, and I mean the video to that's also
Yeah.
such just liquor, you
Yeah,
know.
we actually did the launch of our EP at one of the events that we were at.
I remember.
And it was such a, so we asked the guy, the videographer, look at you, I want you to film the whole vibe and take shots of everything, and we mash it into the video. You know, we mash it into the video, and that's what we did. So yeah, we worked, and you know, whenever we coming out to record, we always did a show the night before, and it's always like, oh, the vocals are so sear. Yo, it's literally like a mission to warm up. And you know me, I'm constantly asking you to bring me hot water,
Yep.
and I'm coming here with my jar, honey.
Yeah.
Get me hot water, you know. So
Yes.
okay, so yeah, man, we are always so grateful just to still put out music. Many people have maybe launched a album, 2 albums, 3 albums that don't take off, and then they give up on music. I understand that. I understand. You know, I understand why it don't take off. I understand why it should have taken off.
Yep.
I understand all these things, you know. And it takes someone to be in the industry to speak about things like that. You need to be humble. Look around, you see what's happening. Take your approaches on your stride. Don't worry about what the next person is doing. You focus on what you must do. How you get from point A to point B. You know, everybody's rushing this thing. What is it to have your songs played on the radio? What is the term called? Made it. I don't know. I still ask, what's the term called? Made it. What is made it to you? That's all that matters.
Yeah.
What made it mean to me, it's all that matters, not to the world.
Yes.
And once you can differentiate between that two, my
Yeah.
brother, you're on the right path. But if you
Guys,
start looking
yes,
for
it's-
that recognition from everybody else, and you're on your journey, brother, and you're crying wolf, no, this is not happening. Why? No.
Exactly,
then
people
you shouldn't be in this game.
who are in the industry. It's about perspective. What's important to you, what's important to everyone else is something totally different. But you gotta be sure what that is. If you're wanting to just impress everyone else, you're gonna run yourself dry. You know what I'm saying? It's,
Guy, let's do this. Let's do this. Michael Jackson to us might be a hero.
right.
It might not be to the person in the next room.
Yeah, okay.
But that's his perspective. Hey,
That's fine.
Yeah. So who's right and who's wrong?
No, there is no right or
There
wrong.
we
It's perspective.
go.
Yeah.
That is what it's about. You can't be loved by everybody.
Yes.
Now, you
Another
can't.
thing.
You cannot be loved by everybody. It's proven. It's facts.
Yeah.
Some people say Whitney Houston was the best voice of all time. Some people say, no, Whitney Houston shouted too much.
Yeah.
People say, no, I prefer Adele. No, I prefer Elvis. Oh, I prefer Michael Jackson. People's
Perspectives and opinions.
You can't be loved by everybody.
Yeah.
And that is what a lot of people strive for so much, and they lose themselves in the process
Yeah.
because they're trying to touch on here, they're trying to touch on there, they're trying to touch on there. No. Me and J-Man said one thing. If we're going to release music, we're going to release music according to what we want to release.
Right.
how we feel about music. As long as we're being sincere and we're being real to ourselves,
Yep.
nothing else matters. Whether the songs take off or not, I couldn't be bothered. Because guess what? 20 years from now, you go on YouTube, you Google my name, my songs will still be there for my children's children to
Yeah,
listen to.
yeah.
That's all that matters to me, man.
That's
That's
what,
all that matters to me.
That's probably
For
one
us-
version of making it for me.
Yeah, you know,
If
for
my
us to
music too.
inspire the next so they can do it better than us
Mm-hmm.
and lay out some blueprints for them to see, okay, so we did that, all right, and that didn't work for us. So, Jamin, what do you think? What's next? Look at you, let's try this.
Mm.
Or let's try that. But in 20 years' time, that might not work then.
Right.
Or in 10 years' time, it might not work then.
To move with the times is a
need-
difficult
yeah,
thing.
we
No,
know,
we
my
talk
brother.
about, you know, the people who ruled in our era. If we talk about certain groups, R&B groups, boy bands, how that became kind of outphased, you know, and people who managed to hang on to their still stay on the charts, but also know that they need to change. You know, we can probably give names endlessly. But
Look at you. You can.
by the way, J Man says here he's there sitting and watching with some popcorn.
Beautiful. Jamin, you'll be in studio soon. We got something for you, boy.
Definitely, we spoke
We
about
got
that.
something for you, boy. I see you Sunday, though, Jason. Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Oh, I thought you were still in the middle of it. What were we saying actually? Yeah, trying to go with the evolution, how things change. Like the hip hop game right now. It's mainly what's trending right now is the trap kind of sound.
Yeah.
But also within that, when it started out, it was very harsh to me, right?
Yeah.
And it sounded all the same, but it's actually got quite a diverse sound, a real diverse sound, and it's a lot of it is growing on
Yeah.
me. Absolutely. I'm an old soul, but I mean, when you do hear like good music, you can't help it. I can say which were the best years, but again, that's just my perspective. And I have my merits and there's truths to it, there's facts to
Yeah.
it. But I cannot take away from the people who are simply hardworking and talented today, who are masters of their craft.
Yeah, man.
Like I really may not like Lil Wayne at all, like at all. There's hardly anything I like about him, but yeah, it is success for his reasons,
Yeah.
for his craft. Yeah,
And I think that every artist has their time. And I think that is hard for artists to let go of because we don't realize that, okay, my time was in the 2000s. I can't really keep up with these younger cats now because these younger cats are killing the game.
yeah.
But if we had Instagram 20, 60 years ago, 20 years ago, think about it. Now, let's think about it. If we had Instagram back then, guy,
Man,
the possibilities are endless.
yeah.
But like you said, you must move with the times, and that's hard for some artists to fathom and to take in because it's hard. It's like, but it's not, their music don't even sound as good as what my music does. A guy, the times
Doesn't
has changed.
matter, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
The charts have
The,
changed.
the charts has changed everything, but so it is what it is.
Yeah, it's
It's hard, but it's a question of how do you stay relevant.
Now you see,
That's a good question to ask. How do you stay relevant? I don't know.
there's a lot,
I don't
there's a
know.
lot of approaches. You just keep being spoken about, right?
But don't we get the sounds also changed throughout the years?
Yeah, like take Miley Cyrus for example.
Hey, I like a new song. I'm saying, a new track is
Dude.
banging, guy.
I was gonna say, she had her shaky years, whatever. But I mean, a more recent, just say the past 5 years, whatever. I'm sorry, I love the chick. She is
Look, her new track is banging.
genius, and the way,
Oh.
but also the way she kept it relevant through the time. It may not be the the best way, whatever, but hey, it worked.
It's what?
You know,
Yeah.
if
Different
you want to
strokes
use
and
that foam
different fun.
finger, use that.
Yeah. Ah,
People can say whatever. Hey, but they're still talking about me. That they and
it's like
because
propaganda, man. It's
Exactly.
Like, it's propaganda.
Which-
It is what it is.
She knows how the media, how to play the people.
Yeah.
She's like, no, people are gonna see this. They're probably gonna speak about it, positively or negatively. The negative people will really want to dig into it, and then dig into my music and then speak crap about it. But guess what? They still had to listen to it.
Yeah, it's propaganda.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whether you like it or not, you're gonna want to listen.
You
That's
heard
all
it.
that
Yeah.
matters, and that is what music is, as propaganda. Whether you like it or not, you're gonna listen.
It's there. Yeah.
And then when there's this big issue. Remember when Nadia Jafta did the song with Youngster, and it was, but business wise,
That was a wise move.
it
Yeah.
was a wise move, whether we like it or not. But there's also just people's perspective. It was business at the end of the day.
Yep.
What did they say on YouTube? If you watch a video for more than a minute and a half, it falls in as a view or something.
Yep.
Guy, that's all I'm saying. Do the math, you'll see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah. So it's, in also that respect,
it's just
very
business sometimes, and a lot of people must understand that, because if an artist don't have money to provide a loaf of bread for their families, who would you reach out to? Look at the times we live in. I've not did a gig. I've not done a gig since last year March. I've not sang once.
right.
Think about it. So if people need to do things like that in order to create revenue for business, then so be it. I have nothing against it. In fact, do what you must do.
Yes.
Do what you must do. Because it's a cruel world out here. We would love maybe Youngster to have done that song with Patty Monroe. I'm just saying, let's be real. But at the end of the day, I couldn't be bothered. They did what they needed to do. You know what I mean? It's about business.
Yeah.
Because now they can, in these tough times, they can sit back and be like, yo, I actually got money made off that track that everybody might have not liked or disliked, and I can provide for my family.
Yeah.
It's business. Or they can turn around to their fans and say, hey, can anybody buy me a loaf of bread? I'm just saying, this is real, whether people like it or not. Sometimes it's just business, and we must salute things like that, man, and let it be.
Yeah.
Man, that's just business. The music industry is different, man. It's different. So how do we stay relevant? I say again.
Do what you must.
You do what you must, guy.
Speaking
what you must.
of that, how much did it take for your? I know it was persistence, but is that all it was when when it eventually came on the radio?
What is this?
Like, for example, She Gonna Love Me.
Okay, look. If you send your music off to radio stations, a lot of people don't tell
Everyone
you this.
pay attention, yeah.
When you send your music off to radio stations, sometimes whether you're sending it to a presenter or to the music compiler, or you're sending it to anybody in the that's working in the environment of the radio station, so you send it via WeTransfer sometimes. Sometimes you can see when someone downloaded your music or not. Right, that's when you know they didn't listen to your stuff. Or sometimes you send them a normal email, your file is too big. Or sometimes when it goes through, it says that their email box are too full to receive your email. And that is things that I'm sorry to say it, but that's how cutthroat it is, guys. It's not that they mean to have their inbox full, because think about it, you're not the only singer-songwriter out there sending music in. No, so you can't get upset like, they're not playing our music and stuff. I can lash out if I want to, but no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just keep on my journey and do what I'm supposed to. The right person will open up that email and be like, hey, I like this jam. Let's play it. Who is it from? Let's call this guy up. So how this whole thing took place, it's just that with my wife, obviously, Shami, and we kind of worked out the system where she said, Brandon, you're the product. You're the product. Make sure that you are ready in terms of having it done holistically. Then we can go about marketing and do those things. Make sure that you got a product that is, say, okay, stamped and approved. We got this in the bag. Now, the real work starts. No, not in studio.
Right.
The studio part comes naturally to us singer-songwriters that put out music and stuff.
Right.
The hard work lies when it comes to your marketing, your admin work, the advertising, the distribution of your music. So now you need to know, people's going to ask you, hey, is your stuff on Spotify or iTunes, Snap? Oh, I need to go do homework on this. How do I get my music on these platforms? So it's not just about getting into studio and sending your music off to your friends and hoping it's going to take off. Take those chances, or take those nights and sleepless nights where you email these people and you just ask them, hey, please check if you got it. If you don't like it, tell me.
Right.
You get to a point where you're sending your email and you say, look, just give me your opinion on it, please. Yeah. So I know what more to send you guys. Right. But do not not reply to me. Like, don't reply. Like, do not just not reply to me.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like that. You need to constantly just be at it. Like, send your emails. Ask them, give me the WhatsApp number. Send it to them via your WhatsApp. Tell them, okay, I'm going to send it to you via WeTransfer. You got a better quality. Tell them where to link it. But you need to literally, that's the hard work in the game, not the music. If
Yeah.
you're a singer-songwriter, that is not the
No,
hard
no,
part
no,
for you. You
but
know?
it's important that
The hard
that
part lies, it's like, I see it like this. Look at it as a, say a record label. A record label has someone that does the plugging for you, it does the visuals, it does the marketing, it does all that. All you need to do is do what?
record.
That's all. That's your job. That's your job. But if you're gonna go in independently, you must understand all of those things that they did. You will have to do, or you need to get you a team to do those type of things, and that is what we've kind of created. Me and J-Man, we focus on the music. He focus on the music and the production of the music, and man, he's amazing. Probably one of the most underrated producers in the heart. I'm telling you, it's J-Man has so much talent. So much talent. It's not even a joke anymore. It's like, it's sick. It's sick to be so great.
I'll
And
gladly vouch for that.
no,
Yeah.
it's sick to be as great as what he is, you know. But we're not gonna cry about why don't the industry listen to him. No. We're on our journey. We're doing what we're supposed to do. Because number one, we family men first.
Yeah.
Our wives and our children comes first. That's the key to us. We comfortable in what we do, you know. A lot of people's been asking us, hey, you're not released music in a while. The world is crying, man. The world is mourning. The world is crying. How can I release music? And I know it's what we do. We're supposed to be releasing music, but it's tough. It's tough when I hear my brother just lost his, you know, his wife's child, or my neighbor just lost their granddaughter, or my neighbor just lost their dad. It's hard. How do I mentally sit down and be like, yo, I need to write about a pop song to be relevant? I can't do stuff like that. I can't. It's just not in me.
Right.
It's not. When do we move past this? I don't know, my brother. I really don't know. So moving back to sending your music off and stuff, and how to go about that. Look at the record label and look at yourself. Look at all the things they're doing for the artists and focus on all of those things holistic. And that is what you have to do. You can create great music and have it on your laptop for the rest of your life. No one's gonna listen to it.
Yeah.
Because you're not putting it out there for anyone to listen to.
Yeah.
You know, so I might know you as a great producer, but if the world don't know, it's almost like this. There's a million great singers. They're singing in their bathroom. That's great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of singers that sings in their bathroom that can out-sing me. But what are they doing?
Yeah.
That is the question. You can always, people's perspective will always be, yeah, but that person don't sing so quiet, man. My anti-second sing bitter as die.
Yeah.
What do your anti-second?
Yeah.
You know what are they doing? And this is the hard part for us, because we always have an opinion. We always have an opinion, but we don't sit back and realize, like, yo, actually, that guy's actually working hard.
Yeah.
That guy's actually working. That man is grinding.
Yeah, exactly.
He's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
It's so easy for a person, an audience member, to say how bad it is, whatever, but they have no clue how much
They have no clue.
you've been to actually be accepted on that stage.
Sure, guy. Yeah.
We have bad nights. We have bad performances.
We have it, guy. We have it all. We have it all. We have that
If
melting.
you haven't walked away from, like, if you've been working like hard live, if you're doing performances, let's take a year period span, right? If you haven't at least had, you know, 10 times, at least 10 times you walked away from a gig, whatever, feeling like, oh, I want to not do this right now. Then I'm sorry. Then you're not a performer. Then you're not even listening to yourself.
Yeah, because we must have the highs with the lows. It's the only way you grow.
You have to.
You need the highs and the lows,
How are you
bruh.
gonna know what is your best performance unless you've had bad ones? You know.
You need them all.
Yeah.
You need them all. But
You need that moments where you look back. I mean, when I look back on some of my performances, and I'm like, oh my,
yeah,
no,
man,
no.
the world is full of people that have opinions, man, and it's okay.
Opinions are like arseholes. If I could say that is a technical term. Opinions are like arseholes. Everyone has one.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like that. But we boil back to the same point. We can't please everybody.
Yeah.
They just accustomed to what they like listening to, and it's fine, my brother. It's part of the music, man. It's part of the music.
Yes.
The right people will listen to your music, and this is what my message is behind everything. The right people will listen to your music. I remember there was a time when we did the launch to our EP. We did hard copied CDs, professionally done, sealed in and everything. We thought it wasn't gonna sell because we were like, who still buy CDs?
Yep.
Bruh,
Doesn't
whoa.
come with a CD player.
Guy, we were like shocked that everyone was standing in the line. Hey Brandon, can I get 2? Can I get 3? I'm like, I need you to sign it as well. We felt like, oh my word, this is actually happening. Things that we never would have thought
Yeah.
could have ever transpired was like, guy, I'm signing a CD. My CD. They're gonna listen to it in their car. Like that was a great moment for us. People came up to us asking, hey, can we get a picture with you guys, please? And that is moments I think that me and J-Man live for.
Is that all performers love for?
Because the right people is coming
Yes.
to listen to our music.
That's what give, like I said on the last podcast with my good friend and guitarist Josh, that as performers, that's our gratification. When if it's you did maybe something, maybe just a whole set of okay stuff, you know, but you did your best, but that one song stuck out to someone and they want to speak to you about it, or they want to get a picture with you, whatever. That is what we live for as performers.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I'd rather have 300, and you know, we can speak about something that took place also like 2 years, 3 years ago, but we're not gonna really dwell on that. But it just shows you that social media isn't all what it seemed to be, you know. And
There's a good size and bad side.
yeah, because and I spoke to one of my clients in the weekend, and she told me like, hey, what's your numbers on Instagram and stuff? And I told her, no, I got a couple of guys like 2K on Instagram and whatever. She's like, okay, cool. And I spoke to her about it because I was booked for the Fire and Ice Hotel. I did First Fridays there.
Right.
You know, they booked us in the heart of winter, and every first Thursdays, my correction, every first Thursdays, the place was full. The place was full, you know, without them even having to advertise us, you know. They just needed to give us the approval on the poster.
Right.
That's all, you know. And the place was full. They went according to social media numbers and they said, hey, there's this guy that has actually 100 times more followers than him. Let's book him instead and see if there's more feet coming through the door. My brother, not one person came to watch. Every first Thursdays. And I don't say that lightly.
Yeah.
That is the power of the personal relationship we have as opposed to social media. When I say the right people, I text everyone on my WhatsApp, over 300-400 contacts.
Yes.
All of them would come.
Yeah.
Because we have a personal understanding, we have a personal relationship. And that is what they do. They support. Without those people, we could not have been where we are right now.
No, absolutely. Your music can't be good unless people say it is. You
But
know?
we okay with just the 400 people coming to watch us every time?
No,
we okay?
I would be fine with that. I'm fine.
Ja,
Just
so nou en dan sy weet die live tour overseas and whatever, maar
yes, sure. We live for like the big moments.
But
you know?
the right people, my
Yeah.
brother, will come for you, will come forward and like your music. Man.
That's the right
And that's
people that
all
will keep you going.
And that
you
is
know?
all that must matter to you. You know, the greatest stages is it awaits you.
Yeah.
But as you're going through this process of wanting to do more with your music and wanting to branch out to different avenues and stuff, remember the most important thing is that the right people must listen to your music. That's it. That's all you need to keep going.
And that is the profound words from Mr. B. Charles.
If
we can leave you with a message, we've basically said that we all basically have different sort of opinion with everything,
Yeah,
right?
man.
But despite this, it doesn't mean that we can't share the same space. You know what I'm saying?
There's enough for everybody.
Exactly. You may I may love hip hop, whatever. You may just hate it, whatever. But that doesn't mean we can't be friends.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? We all have our own taste. If we can all just, you know, this is also another thing. Music brings people together, whether you like it or not. We all have this taste, and this is something that we live for.
One rhythm, one life, baby.
One rhythm, one life. Man, you know, a couple of people asked me the origin of
Yeah.
One
How did
Rhythm.
that start though, by the way?
Okay, it's probably okay. Basically, we're concluding right now, but I'll just give this briefly. It comes from one of my favorite Bible short little verses. That's Ephesians 2 verse 8. For it is
Okay.
by grace you have been saved.
Ah, okay.
So, um, God says to me that you have another day, so do something with it. That's your day of grace. Yeah, I'm giving you another day, so
Yeah.
do something. You got one rhythm, you know, you got one life, you know, you got to find your rhythm. So you better keep doing something, you know, do
Yeah.
something that keeps you going. So I just kind of put those around and said, one rhythm, one
Yeah.
life, got to find your
Beautiful.
beat, you know. And very soon I really want to have it tattooed on me. Mom, Mom, that's fine.
Yeah.
I already have one.
Yeah, okay.
I already have one. They approve. They're fine with
Yeah.
it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute joy, an overwhelming thing to have Mr. B. Charles here. If I can also just say one thing, man, is that I spoke to you about you the other day to one of my friends who asked me about, oh, isn't that guy who came to record here? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, you know what? She's like, and it's so great that he's such a humble guy, such a, you know, such a nice guy that he's gonna, you know, come over. I'm like, yeah,
It's normal buzz. Hey.
it's like, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, they, because she's seen um she's seen me in performances and go to other places
Yeah.
and try and see other people, whatever. Some people with that just minute bit of success, you know, they
Yeah.
had a hit or whatever, they, you know, high and mighty and all that.
Yeah.
It went to
No,
the head a
I
bit.
think ek is nog so plat soos 'n manora bly. I can't pretend to be something I'm not. I don't think it's within my arsenal to be something like that. No, in J-Man's. It's I
Exactly.
know,
We
man.
we sort of have also, I feel like we almost have the same thing. You know, fame. Okay, sure, that would be nice. Sure, whatever. But it's a very short-lived thing. What we want in the end is success,
Yeah.
right?
But
That's it.
also break success down. What is your success as
Mm.
opposed to what the world wants or the world criteria? Whatever your success is in life, but remember that
Your
is
goals.
your little goals that
Your
you
goals.
and that is it. You know, and no, I can't be something I'm not, man. I'm always gonna be this person. I'm open. I'm jolly. I can speak to you like I know you for years. I don't
Man.
care if we're sitting in the house drinking floaty. I don't care about those things. You know, it's you. It's you that it's not like I tell a lot of people. It's not what you do. It's who you are. You know, and
Absolutely.
that's it, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Again, perspective keeps coming back. This has been the subject of this entire
Yeah,
episode.
that's all that matters. You know, we live in a world where we want everybody's approval, man, and
Yeah. Yes, that is
we live
so
in a world where we want everybody's approval. The only approval that matters is yours.
your own. Yeah.
You know, and make sure that you make right with God. That's it. Speak to God about stuff, and then everything else will come, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's all that matters.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been one hell of an episode.
I don't know what sign to
And-
shop next. I'm showing the sign in. The sign in. Anyways,
This has only been episode 2, and we have really got deep in this episode. And you can look forward to a much more, trust me. But I thought I really want to absolutely elevate my little podcast to the next level. So I must really thank you in supporting me with my new little venture.
amen.
And hopefully I can capitalize on this and get, you know, more and more relevant people like yourself who really matter to me as well, who are really deep in the industry, actually give this point of realism.
Yeah.
You know, what we spoke about tonight. This is not just, I told people it's not an interview what I'm doing. It's a podcast where we actually discuss our craft. I want people to know like what really goes on in artist's mind. I'm not just talking to
Yeah.
musicians. I'm hopefully getting some comedians in here.
Yeah.
I may have you back because I just may want to talk about boxing for a bit because I know there's other martial artists. This is totally not what this is about, but I may just want to anyway.
Yeah, man. We rock and roll, bro. Is what we do.
I'm
we rock
sure.
and roll.
I'm sure I'll try and relate it to music somehow.
Yeah.
You know, we can
No,
talk
but
about
I
rock or
get my
something.
competitive nature from my sport. I get it from there. If I go on stage, I'm singing with I'm singing with a point like, hey, I need to prove something here. I still sing like that, you know.
Right.
And that is, and I think that is what keeps me on my toes and keep me consistent, because that is the type of energy I go with.
It really
I'm very
shows.
competitive, you know. I'm very, very competitive.
It really shows. And if anyone were to...
Even as ons nou dominoes ook speel, ek wil jou wen, ek wil nie verloor nie.
I can totally understand that as well.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, for the third time, I'm gonna try and sign off here.
Okay,
if you
bye.
haven't caught this episode live, I really urge everyone to subscribe and check out Severo Music Studios on Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Instagram. Check out the B Charles Experience as well. Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. I really appreciate it. And everyone keep well. One rhythm, one life.
Stay safe.